Here is the 10 iterations plan to become a PMP. In the first iteration, we start with the introduction to the course, then selecting the best projects, portfolios, programs and projects, then appointing the right project manager and selecting the right project management approach for the project. So these topics we cover in the iteration 1. Then in iteration 2, we focus on predictive project management, starting with initiation, project charter, identifying the stakeholders. Then we get into planning. There we do collecting requirements, defining scope, decomposing the scope into a work breakdown structure. Then we move on to iteration 3. So once the WBS is done, the next step is creating the bill of quantities or BOQ. And once we have the BOQs, then it is easy to prepare the cost estimation. Then we define, we discuss a little bit about the various organization structures, and then we get into the definition of the project's organization breakdown structure. Then we define control accounts, then create the budget for the project, and after that we will discuss about scheduling. Then we move on to iteration 4. There we discuss in detail about planning quality, planning resources, planning communications, planning risk, planning procurement, and planning stakeholder engagement. In iteration 5, we'll be discussing more about executing the project, that is direct and manage project work, manage knowledge, manage quality, acquire resources, develop and manage team, manage communications, then implement risk responses, conduct procurements, and manage stakeholders. And then we spent a lot of time in discussing about monitoring and controlling. Here our focus will be on earned value management. And then we get on to closing the project or phase. So iterations 1 to 5, the focus is on predictive project management. Then we move on to iteration 6. We start discussing about agile project management, starting with what is agile, the agile team organization, key agile ceremonies, agile estimation, agile artifacts, definition of done, which is very critical. And then we discuss about hybrid project management. Then in iteration 7 and 8, we discussed about the various models like the situational leadership, OSCAR model, cross-cultural communication, Gulf of execution, evaluation, hygiene and motivational factors. So these models cuts across the project management approaches, because these can be applied both in predictive project management as well as agile and hybrid project management. Then from week 9 and 10, we focus on rigorous exam practice. That means the first 5 weeks, at the end of 5 weeks, you will have solid knowledge about predictive project management. At the end of 8 weeks, you will have good knowledge about agile project management and predictive project management. So the foundation is strong. Then we move on to blind exam practice, that is on iteration 9 and 10. And this is the time when you should apply for the exam. And if you do rigorous exam practice for 10 days, you will pass the exam in the first attempt itself with confidence. Thank you very much.